There's a crime. Detectives follow the clues. They get close, but then they reach the water. So they call in the underwater criminal investigator. That's Mike Barry. Hold on, this is Mike Barry.
I dive in very strange places looking for very strange things.
Mike has been an underwater criminal investigator for 35 years.
How easy is it to get rid of a murder weapon? All it is a flick of the wrist. In someone's mind, that murder weapon is forever gone. They have no idea there are people like me crazy enough to go down there and search.
Law enforcement depends on guys like Mike to preserve and recover evidence.
Your three cores in underwater criminal investigation is body recovery, vehicle recovery, and evidence recovery. I get called about twice a week, sometimes more, sometimes less.
And when a call comes in,
hello?
Chances are Mike's in for a challenge.
Some of these locations are absolutely disgusting. Our typical dive site is dark, it's deep, it's cold, it's full of obstructions, it's contaminated. The danger is there when you get in the water. You know, I've had murderers tell me, you'll never find it. I said, well, we'll see.
Go ahead, Diver 1.
I've located the weapon.
10-4, Diver 1.
There's nothing like finding the target. When your hand hits it and you feel it and you realize you've got it. For a public safety diver, there's no greater thing.
And when he's out there searching for a body,
I look at it as an honor because you realize the importance of what you're asked to do. There's a family and there's no closure until you bring them up. Not every diver can do this. Not everybody has it in their DNA. It's what I was meant to do. I couldn't think of anything better to do with my life. Truth is, I can't wait for the next call to help someone in some way, either to bring closure or to bring a conviction.
Some of the greatest works of art are just beneath the waves. Standing in just 25 feet of water off the coast of CANCUN, Mexico, the Museo Subacuático de Arte is both a monument to human creativity and the natural beauty of the Caribbean reef ecosystem. The museum is a vast collection of underwater galleries with over 500 sculptures, many focused on themes of human interaction and impact on the environment. The marine park where the museum is located is one of the most visited stretches of water in the world. With nearly 800,000 visitors each year, immense pressure is placed on the native reef ecosystem. That's why every sculpture is made from cement suitable for the growth of coral, seaweed, and algae. The many holes in the sculptures make perfect homes for marine wildlife to colonize and feed off the coral. The hope is that as nature continues to colonize these statues, they will transform into massive reefs, unrecognizable for what they once were. And it's also attractive to humans. It has become one of the most popular dive locations in the area, hopefully signaling a more prosperous relationship between man and nature.
When I first started treasure hunting, I would come down to the river pretty much every single day, and I'd surf and raft and have a good time at the river. But the first time I went underneath the water, it just opened my eyes to a world I didn't know existed. My name's Jake KOEHLER. I'm a freediver and treasure hunter.
You guys ready?
Let's do it. Let's do it, man. I dive in the Chattahoochee River in Columbus, Georgia, which is one of the world's largest urban whitewater courses ever built. So this is actually Georgia, and the other side of the river is Alabama. Thousands of people go down this river every single year, and they lose all kinds of valuables, and it's a lot of fun to go out there and swim and see if I can find some stuff they lost. Some of the most interesting things I found definitely have to be like iPhones, GoPros, pistols. Always pretty interesting to find like a potential murder weapon out here in a river, but GoPros and phones definitely my favorite finds. When I find these cameras and phones, I try to just figure out who it belongs to, because not only like finding this stuff is a lot of fun, but giving back the devices that they've lost is also a blast.
Here you go, buddy. Be careful out here.
I will. Not only you find a lot of cool stuff that people lose after rafting, but thousands upon thousands of fishermen come up here, and normally no one would go out there and collect all these fishing lures, but I go out there and I'll free them from the wall and free them from the stumps, and It just kind of cleans up the area, and I get free fishing lures. There's a lot of animals underneath the water. You got a lot of striped bass, shad, spotted bass, and catfish. You see a lot of turtles down here too. It's just super beautiful to see all that stuff.
Okay.
First day back and Jake finds a GoPro.
He was diving right next to me.
I was really surprised how many people were interested in watching treasure hunting videos. Someone said hey. Hey! We got another fan over there, I guess. I love coming down here, looking for treasure and surfing and having a good time, but I didn't know I can actually do this as like a full-time job. I started my YouTube channel and record myself swimming and having a good time at the river, and one thing led to another, and now I'm able to do this as my full-time job.
Oh my God, 24.
Oh, it's going quick, bro.
2 more. The more I travel, the more I realize that this spot is actually one of a kind. There's not many places in the world that you can actually surf at a river, you know, you could fish and treasure hunt. I have a love for this river, man, and I just can't stay inside. I have to go down and have a good time.
Golf isn't known for being the most forgiving game. But there's nothing quite like shanking your ball into the drink or pond. That's where this guy comes in. Here at TPC Sawgrass, hundreds of golfers lose their balls to the infamous par 3 17th hole. But one golfer's misery is another man's gold. This is Gordon Davis.
My name is Gordon Davis, and I'm a professional golf ball diver.
And he makes a living diving for golf balls all over Florida.
I've been diving for golf balls approximately 50 years.
And there are a lot of balls to be found.
On average, when I'm diving, I'll pick up 3,000 to 4,000.
3,000 to 4,000?
3,000 to 4,000.
Whoa. So how do you find these golf balls?
It's mostly, you know, just feel, picking them up out of the mud, and some places the mud's so deep that you can't do nothing with it, you know.
And it's that mud that makes it impossible to see, well, anything.
Most courses, there's very few that has clear water. Most of them has poor visibility because of the algae and all that.
So what happens next?
After I pull the balls out, they go through, pick out some of them, and they take them from there.
They being someone who wants to repurpose these balls.
These balls are authentic.
These authentic balls are diced up, placed in all sorts of usable keepsakes like cufflinks, watches, and bottle openers. And Gordon, he knows what it takes to be a professional golf ball diver.
Well, I tell people you got to be a kind of a special cat to be a golf ball diver. Somebody with grit and that wants to be an independent person. It's like any other business, someone has to do it. Everybody has a different job, and this happens to be mine.
Seeing as you're kind of a special cat, any advice for golfers trying to keep their balls dry?
Yeah, take up another sport. Hole in one.
Manta rays are very large. They're one of the largest animals in the ocean. Certainly they're the largest of any of the ray species. They can get up to about 25 feet across. When they come towards you and they're that size, they look like an alien spacecraft as they go overhead. They actually blight out the sun. It's just so incredible to be that close to such a large animal, especially one that you don't have to fear. My name's Andrea Marshall. I'm a manta ray researcher and a marine biologist. I've been in love with the ocean all of my life. Ever since I could remember, I wanted to be a marine biologist. When I moved out to Africa with the intention of studying things like great white sharks, I actually shifted my focus over to manta rays when I realized that no one had ever done a study on manta rays before. One of the things that makes manta rays so special is that they're large, and sometimes people feel frightened by them just because of their sheer size, but actually they're one of the most gentle animals in the entire ocean. Manta rays are a very intelligent animal. They actually have the largest brain of any marine fish. But one of the things that surprises me the most is just the fact that they seek out encounters with humans. So this isn't an animal that swims away from you. This is an animal that swims to you. They recognize you almost as a friend. Southern Mozambique is just an incredible location. I've lived here for the last 15 years, and even though I travel all over the world to do my work, I enjoy coming back here because this is such a wild place. It's so exciting. One of the reasons I began work on mantas is because I knew that these animals were under threat. Recently, within the last 15 to 20 years, they have started to be fished for Asian tonics. And as a result of this, we've seen manta populations crashing across the globe. Even here in Mozambique, where we don't even have a very aggressive fishery, we've seen the population collapse by up to about 98% over the last 15 years. We're starting to lose them faster than we can study them. So it's really important for me to get these messages across to people who don't have the opportunity to peek down into the underwater world.